Okay, welcome everyone. Let's
Hello,
continue
sir.
this. Hello, Alka. How are you? Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So let's continue the session.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I share the screen with you all, and I just enable hide video. Okay. Now I will explain you something about the few assumptions uh, which could not explain prior. So few more things. This thing have been skipped earlier. So I just explained the remaining slides to you. First, whenever we get a data, we convert our data to numbers for the linear regression and the logistic regression. Supposedly numeric, the some data are supposedly numeric, like there are codes, and but they are numbers. So we convert them in numeric as dot numeric, what we have done in our data set also. And whatever the categorical we have, we convert them in dummy. Okay. So this is the data must be in a numeric form. Second, we divide the data in two parts, training and testing. We could write that. And whatever the vi is greater than 5, we have to drop it, and the drop variables of p is greater than 0.05 also. So these are the basic concept we have to keep in our mind when we develop a model, train a model. Now let's summarize the model building process. Remove or impute missing values in the data. Okay, first thing. Then the create dummy variables for categorical variables, as I explained you. In the first run of your model building process, check VIF for all variables. Drop values with high VFI greater than 5. Drop them one by one, only not all at once. Okay, drop the one with highest VIF. Run your process again and then pick again the variable with highest PIF and drop, and keep on doing this until VIF is less than 5 or all variables, remaining variables. Once VIF is under control for all the remaining variables, start dropping variables one by one based on the P values. If P value is greater than 0.05, drop that variable. Or you have your trend model. Once you have all remaining variables with P value less than 0.05. And break your data in three parts. Generally, we divide in two parts. Okay. Train and test, or we could say the train and validation. Start building model on train. Test the model's performance by calculating RMAC on the test data set. You can use RMAC calculated on test data to compare multiple models. Okay. So this is basically, or what is RMAC? I have earlier explained you. Sigma EI square over n, and its square root is called the root mean square error. It should be list of the model, be list of the model to be selected. Now I will explain you what is the VIF. If your R square, which is the ratio of SSE over SST, that is 1, then the VIF would be infinite. VIF is 1 over 1 minus RJ square. Okay. So drop it, it will not bringing new information. If your RJ square is 0.99, then VIF would be 100. And the variable is bringing only 1% new information. And when RJ square is 0.9, then it will give you 10%. 0.8, then VIF is 5. So it is bringing at least 20% new information. And if it is RJ square is 0.5 or VIF is 2, variable is bringing approximate 50% of new information. So we consider the new 20% new information from our data, and we drop the variables having VIF less than or greater than 5. Sorry. So
RJ is RMS?
this RJ square?
Yes, sir. So this
Okay.
is RMS?
No, it is not a RMS. RJ square is a different thing. I explained earlier that in this PPT, I explained once more to you. So R square is equal to SAC, sum of square of error and sum of square of total.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Now you remember it.
Yeah.
So it is RJ square and VIF is 1 over 1 minus RJ square. Okay.
Okay.
That is our VIF. I'll show you that also, the VIF formula. Just a moment. I remove this. This is the VIF formula. 1 over 1 minus RJ square, variance and inflation factor. Okay. Now we see some assumptions of linear regression. First is the linearity. Second is the normality of errors. QQ plot, through QQ plot we could see it. And third one is the homoscedasticity, residuals versus predicting variables plot. And independence of errors and predictive variables. So we see it. The assumptions, 4 key assumptions that need to be tested for a linear regression model are: one is the linearity. The expected value of the dependent variable is a linear function. Expected value, the target predicted y, is a linear function of each independent variable, holding the other fixed. Not is this does not restrict you to use the non-linear transformation of the independent variable. You can still model fx is equal to x square plus bx plus c using both x square and x as predicting variables. Okay, so linearity is very, very important thing. The predictive should be the linear. Then independence, the error residuals of the fitted model. Okay, residuals, you already know that the difference between the mean and the predictive value, mean of y and the predictive value, that is a residual. The error are independent of each other. Error should be independent. It should not be the error of other observations should impact on the error of one particular data point. Homoscedasticity, constant variance of error. Variance of the error is constant with respect to predicting variables or the response. So I will explain it through the visual presentation this. Fourth is the normality. The error are generated from a normal distribution. It is all about the error. Okay, these last three you see, of unknown mean and variance which can be estimated from the data. Note, this is not a necessary condition to perform linear regression unlike the top three above. However, without these assumptions being satisfied, you cannot calculate the so-called confidence and prediction intervals easily, as well known analytical expression corresponding to Gaussian distribution cannot be used. And for multiple linear regression, judging multicollinearity is also a critical from the statistical inference point of view. So this assumption assumes minimal or non-linear dependence between the predicting variables.
So what is the meaning of Gaussian
Gaussian is a normal distribution basically. Gaussian
Okay.
distribution, normal distribution. Okay. That is a symmetric we see now that thing. So errors follow n is the number of observation, 0 is the mean, and the sigma square for each given x over predictor value. So this allows us to build a confidence interval around our predicted value. Whatever the predicted value we get, we could create some confidence interval. That line through that line. Okay. So variance sigma square associated with each predictor value can be estimated. Variance sigma square is what? The square of standard deviation. That is the variance. Okay. By looking at error associated with that particular predictor values. But in real life data, we are rarely have multiple occurrence of any predictor value. Way out it. You see, this is our linear regression, or we see this Gaussian distribution of this. Got it? Error. Normality of error we see. It should be normal. Normality means it should not be skewed. So we get the confidence interval, both the side of this should be same. Upper side and the lower side. Here it may be difference. But variance should be same. Error of the variance should be constant. Okay. So this is a way. If you see it, I have the 3 different x values. We are getting it. Got it? Variance of this is the 0 we are taking, and the variance of this error variance we are getting it. Okay, that is. Normality of error response need not allow normal distribution as a whole. Response did not follow normal distribution as a whole. Following from assumption of normality of errors, response follow normal distribution of each predictor value. So that is we have given yi similar to n mu yi and sigma square. So this is the formula. We will not go in that deep, but I am just explaining you. Homoscedasticity means the assumption that variance of errors remains constant across predictor values. Okay. Variance of errors remains constant across predictor values. Predictor values means whatever the variable x1, x2, x3, this all. This enables us to estimate error variance by pooling errors associated with all the observations. Okay, that is that does it mean. And the independence of error means if you see a pattern between predictor variables and errors, what does this imply? There might exist a relationship between errors and the predictor variables. Okay, so let's say that the error is equal to fx plus c. It may be something may be wrong. Yeah, spelling may be wrong. Almost because maybe wrong there, because we have just write that homoscedasticity, which spelling is wrong. SK. Okay, C instead of CV. Sometimes sedasticity. Okay. Because if we see homoscedasticity, some people take this spelling, so I have taken this. May be wrong also. Okay, maybe wrong. because if you see homo, you see this, getting it? Nikita? So there are both spelling, as we have seen the spelling in many, we use the uh, you know that we use the spelling in visualization. We use S and Z also being used over there. Okay, so both spelling are correct, but mostly I have seen this one, so I have written this. This also correct. Okay, you are also correct. I am not say that you are wrong. The both spelling are correct. Okay. So this enables to estimate error variance by pooling error associated with all the observations. And if you have to read more about the homoscedasticity, you go on the internet and read about it. We could not discuss here more about it. I just explain you the idea behind this. If you see a pattern between predictor variable and errors, what does this imply? There might exist a relationship between errors and the predictor variable. Okay. And the putting this back to the original equation which is assumed, that is the a plus bx plus f of x plus e. This inscribes the relation between response and predictors in non-linear as opposed to our assumption of linearity. Okay, so there is a fx we have put there, and the e, that error we have taken. So that is the why we could say that it is the actual value we get here. No? It is the non-linearity if we get the actual value. Now, independence of error. Suppose that we have a statistical model of some data. Let k be the number of estimated parameters in the model, means the variables. Let be the maximum value of likelihood function for the model. Then AIC value of the model is the following. Okay. So give a set of candidate models for the data. The preferred model is the one with the minimum AIC value. Okay. And AIC rewards good. I will explain you through the net that, don't worry. This AIC rewards goodness of fit as assessed by the likelihood function, but it also includes a penalty that is an increasing function of the number of the estimated parameters. The penalty discourages overfitting, which is desired because increasing the number of parameters in the model almost always improves the goodness of the fit. Okay. So you see, but if include the penalty, that is the increasing function of the number of estimated parameters, the penalty discourages overfitting, which is desired because the increasing the number of parameters in the model almost always improves the goodness of the fit. Okay. So that is the thing, the 2k minus 2 log L cap. So I will explain this with adjusted R square. What does it mean? I will explain that AIC also. First we finish this, then I will explain that. So adjusted R squared. R square is 1 minus SSE residual SSE total. Okay. And the adjusted R square 1 minus R square n minus 1 n minus p minus 1 number of predictors and sample size. So this is in this way we get it. Okay. So that way we could find it out. Now the fitted versus residual plots to check homoscedasticity. You see, this is very important. I have just practically how we check it. So when we plot the fitted response, what we get the four types of plot. I explained you, or I just shown you those graphs. So now after understanding this, you could better understand those graphs. So when we plot the fitted response value, these are the fitted and the residuals. You look at here, the fitted values. Fitted values, the prediction we are getting, and these are the residuals predicted and the residuals. So as the fitted values you see is increasing, this residual is also variance is increasing of the residuals. Got it? So if I explain this, when we plot the fitted response values as per the model versus the residuals, we clearly observe that the variance of the residuals increase with the response variable magnitude. Okay, therefore the problem does not respect homoscedasticity and make some kind of variable transformation may be needed to improve model quality. Okay. So second, we see the histogram of normalized residuals. You see the normalized residuals we have taken. We see the plot of the normalized residuals over and count it. We have given here. Checking for the normality, we use generally the QQ plot. If these points are lie on this line, a little bit maybe on the outer side, the extreme side maybe outside that. So it shows us the thing how your model is normal or not. This error. Residuals, normality of the residuals, sorry. To check the assumption of normality of the data generating process, we can simply plot the histogram and the QQ plot for the normalized residuals. Okay. And one more thing I have, additionally, we can run the Shapiro-Wilk test on the residuals to check the normality. Okay. Which we have learned in the inferential analysis. And these are the Cook's distance and outlier detection. So Cook's distance essentially measure the effect of deleting a given observation. Points with the large Cook distance need to be closely examined for the being potential outliers. Okay, so measure the effect of deleting a given observation. Points with the large Cook distance need to closely examine this, and these the residuals and the Cook's distance. And we have a different formula for that. Yes, yes. Shapiro-Wilk test we can also use for the normality. We could check it. Okay. Additional it is. But we just see the plot, QQ plotter. We could just get a view of that. What is multicollinearity? That is a very important thing. Moderate to high intercorrelation among independent variables. The independent variables, why we have x1, x2, x3, these all. So it may be moderate to high intercorrelation among independent variables. And if there is a high correlation between uh, independent variables, intercorrelation among. So what problems multicollinearity creates? If two independent variables contain essentially same information to a large extent, one gains little by using both in the regression model. One gains little by using both in the regression model. The multicollinearity leads to unstable estimates as it tends to increase the variance of the regression coefficients. Okay. So how to assess presence of multicollinearity? One way to obtain the VIF, through VIF we could remove this thing, multicollinearity problem, the variables we remove which are too much intercorrelated with the other. Okay. What is the solution of multicollinearity? One way is to keep only the two independent variables that are highly correlated in the regression model. Okay. One is to keep only the two, if the two variables having the high correlation, then only one you keep, only of the two independent variables that are, okay, the one you have to keep. What is the solution of multicollinearity? So here you see we have a fitted values and residual graph is, which I explained you earlier, where we also look for the homoscedasticity and used to detect non-linearity, unequal error variance, and outliers. So this we are getting here. In real data set, we may not get the situation where we get the perfect residual versus fitted plot, but it gives some indication if the model can be further improved. Okay, the model can be improved or not. So it gives us some uh, information. We could not get a perfect one. This line, we cannot make this line lie on this zero residual, but we could, up to some extent, we could state it. Okay, that does it mean. And this is the graph from our model. uh, Same model I have taken it, and this is the q plot. So if residuals are normally distributed, then you see these are not here, you see these are not normally distributed. So normal plot, we give more weightage to the center points here, that the extreme points, because there could be lots of variability around the extreme points, and there may be lots of variability. And scale location on the standardized residual and the fitted values. So we see here, I see who are there in the and this. To check if residuals are spread equally along the range of the predictors, it helps us to check the assumptions of equal variance, also called the homoscedasticity. So this is we use for that, if residuals are spread equally along the range of predictors. Okay, so it helps us to check the essence of equal variance, also called the homoscedasticity. So that is this. And this residuals versus leverage. For outliers is upper and lower corners. So upper and the lower corners, we see the outliers. Okay, so these are the outliers. So this was all about the theoretical concepts, or you could more read on the internet about it. Somebody asked me about the AIC, so I will show you the AIC, but I have some literature, but I don't want to search here. I just search on the internet, and it is a Ekaiki information criterion. Is an estimator. It was developed by some Japanese, I think that. So estimator out of sample prediction error and thereby relative quality of the statistical models for a given set of data. Given a collection models and the data, AIC estimates the quality of each model relative to each of other models. So you could learn this from many sites, the Wikipedia, if you see. So thus AIC provides a means to model selection. Okay, AIC is founded by the information theory, which is statistical model used to represent a process of generated the data that generated the data. So the representation will almost never be exact. So some information will be lost by using the method to represent the process. AIC estimates the relative amount of information lost by a given model. Got it? So the less information a model loses, the higher the quality of that model. So that is the AIC criterion, Kaiki criterion we use. So we have a function, a step function. We run that function, and that is the formula for AIC. Okay, you could learn this, and in the logistic regression model, when we learn after this linear regression, I have applied that AIC. Okay, there you will see how to use it. Correct? there are so many variables, so we applied over there. Here we have very few variables, we have not applied it. Correct? So we'll see there. And that logistic regression, I have used it, so I am not explaining much more about this. So you could read the so many things. It means that when you want to become a data analyst or you want to work as a data scientist, then there are lots of statistics you have to learn. Okay. People say, we ask in somewhere in the workshop, who wants to become a data analyst? So most of the approximate 90%, 95% participants raise their hand. We want to become a data scientist. We want to become a data analyst. But when we ask who want to learn the statistics, so less than 5% raise their hands. So without statistics, we could not do the data analytics. So that's, I have seen in so many workshops that when I ask who want to become a data scientist, more than 95%, yes, we want. But we want, when I ask who wants to become a statistician, who want to learn the statistics, so then only less than 5%. So these are correlated, not a correlated, that is the soul of data science and the data analytics is a statistics. So it is soul. It is not correlated, it is soul. Understand, Vijaya? It is the soul of that thing. So we have 9. Okay. So let's again share my screen with you and we continue our session.
Sir, yesterday our RMS value was coming higher.
Yes.
So, sir, the error, how did we correct it?
Okay.
I
We
did
will do.
half, but it was still the error was large.
Okay. We do it. Do it today. I just
Sir,
yes.
sir, I have done that steps you have told na. For testing data also we have to pre-process, right?
Hmm.
I have done and I have got the RMSE value of 2.11 for the
Two.
test data.
Okay.
2.11.
2.11. It's and whatever that.
Can I share the code, sir?
Yes.
Can I?
Yes.
Sir, I want to know whether this one is correct.
Okay. Okay, I do it myself. Okay. I do it so you could better understand. I will write the code there, because the most of the time I change the data set when I train the person. So I don't use the same data set always. So I do it. So I think that we see the structure first. So we could be confirmed that this process is done. The state is not removed. No? State we have to remove it here. And then we see the structure. Now it is okay. Okay. So now I divide into part. And then I process this for the training data. Yes. Uh, Just a moment, I do it, and then I will see why it is too much low. like little time, but we complete it. We'll run it later. I just set this here first. This we have done. Now this one. No. Where is that? There was no use of this. Interest rate was the dependent variable. And then use this. Okay. We have taken log here. No? This we take. Monthly income. Mhm. That is then revolving credit balance. it? I think we have completed the amount requested, monthly income, revolving credit balance, and the FICO. Okay. This we had only. And
Why you have skipped the interest rate column, sir, in the test data?
that is a target variable.
So we no need to pre-process it.
No. That we want the prediction.
Okay.
That we want that value as an input. Okay. It's correct now. We do it and I run this all together and it all processed. Now I find out the mean RMAC and I find out the RMAC here also. Look at this now. What do you say?
More or less same, sir, what I got.
You also got the same, na?
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. So everybody now understand? Yes, Isita, Alka.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the only thing we have done after the partition. Okay. Got it? So we have, because we have partitioned the data, but if you get new data, then what you have to do? Then you have to process the data from the starting. Got it? You have to start the data in this way. Correct? This all process is required over there. If you get the new data, this process also. Okay. Mutation is also there, should be there, because then you could get that columns, na? Otherwise you won't get that column which we are using in our model. Okay. So here you have seen this and I will show you the summary of it now again. So this is our summary and yes, of course, why not? I will share this code. Okay, I just save is also Control S I do here, so it would be saved. Next time I don't have to do that much work on this. Yes, sir, 2.11 here, and the previous one 1.9 something. So it is very near to that. So our model is good, but I want to improve it. So what I will do? I will improve that model. I will show you. I want to state this residual versus fitted. I want to correct this thing. So I will do one thing for that. You see, this is a function like a parabolic function or not? Square function. You know that?
Yes, sir.
So what we have to do, we have to one by one, we have to pick up one variable and make a square of this. Okay. Then include that square in your model and then again reprocess the model. Got it? So I explain you that also here. Where is that? Okay. And I have done that thing. And finally I got the, if I square the FICO column, then it gets some straightness. Okay. We have to,
How do you selected the Pico
no,
column?
no, I have done hit and trial method.
Or
Okay.
randomly you can choose any one variable.
No, no, no. One by one we have to go.
One by one. Okay.
Yes, yes. So finally I got this. Okay. There is no other, up to now, there is no other technique. So it depends on the what you want to do here, because it is parabolic. So we are taking the square function. It may be some other sort of line. Maybe there are other function we have to use, the reciprocal function, the exponential, log, whatever. So we should know the all pattern of the all sort of graphs. Okay. Figure of all sort of graphs, their domains, and that knowledge we should have. So what I am doing, I am making a new column FICO2 in the training data set. Got it? And how I get FICO into FICO? That is the square of that, correct? And I run it. Similarly, I add this column in the test also. Got it? And I run it. What? Now what I will do? How do I optimize the model? This is my model. Okay, final model. Got it? And I have included that FICO square in LD underscore train. I will show you that data. You see, got it? So this column,
Can you
when
once again explain how you selected FICO and why you selected FICO and not other variables?
I have done one by one. Understand? I first squared this and I tried it. Then I squared it. I tried it. Got it?
Okay, sir. So, but how will we like in like in amount requested if we do the square, then what are we checking? The plot only.
Plot only.
Okay, sir.
And then we check the RMAC also.
Okay, sir.
It will reduce the gap of the RMAC.
Okay.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
At present, we have the RMAC 2 point something na, for the test data.
Yes, sir. 2.11.
1.1. And for the training data, you know that 1.9 something.
Yes, sir.
So we see what happens with this. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So I have included in this my data set, and when I run this again, so that will be included in the model because I have not subtracted it. FICO square. Understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I run this.
So basically, hit and trial will do.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sir.
And I run the summary. You will see revolving credit balance has now changed and this has now changed. Okay, it is the get some. So it will change so many things. Okay, either we have to remove this, which is the highest one now, employment length.
So,
Okay.
niche 0.55.
Where?
LPDC.
Yes. This we could remove. But before that, I would like to show you the RMAC before removing this. Correct?
Yes,
Then
sir.
we will remove one by one this. Okay, the same process we will follow here. So it will reduce again few variables. Okay. So I just show you that RMAC. Here I run it and it is 1.85. Got it? It is less than that or not? Previously we had this one for the training data. What do you say? And we also use for the test data, we see it is 1.93. It decreased or not?
Yes, sir.
It decreased? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we remove some more variables. Okay. I just want to show you this thing. And now what I do, I take this, where is that final? I copy this, Control C, and I take this here, optimize the model. Okay. And when we see the summary, it was 0.55 with what? LPDC. So I subtract LP underscore DC. Got it?
Yes, sir.
I run it and I see the summary again. So I am getting now 0.14, 0.55 here in the EL. Okay. Got it? Previously I have got what? 55 in the DC. Now 55 in the EL. So EL I will remove. What I do, I just take it here and minus EL. One thing I have did mistake there, should not be there. And I run it and I will show you the summary again. So we see there are 213 and 16. So I will remove revolving credit balance. Okay. Control C. So I remove that revolving credit balance and I run this. We see what happens now. And the last one is dot is there. So I don't want to remove it. Correct? If you want, you could remove.
Yes, sir.
If you don't want, it's on you. Okay. So this is our final model. And then we see the RMAC again. RMAC is above it. I think it is the RMAC we see here again. It is, I will show you again. So you see our 1.85, 1.94. Previously it was 1.85, 1.93. Okay. Got it? And 9.3, it was also 9.4 basically. 9.3 if we remove that at, so it will say 1 and 7 will be 9, 3, 9 and 9.4, 1.94 and 1.86. 1.94, 1.86. So here also 1.86 and 1.94. Got it? Approximate.
Sir, R square has been increased from 77 to 80. No.
It's okay. R squared, no?
Yes.
Okay, it is the 0.794. Okay, 0.7974. Or previously it was 0.7977. No, it decreased, no? R square decreased little bit. 7964, 7965. R square decreased little bit, 7977 and 7974. Okay. Multiple R square and adjusted R square 7964 here, and here what is 7965. So not much difference there. Correct? Okay. .86 is here, 1.864, 1737 degree of freedom. Okay, 3637 degree of freedom. Correct. Got it? So now if we see, we have very few variables. Only these variables is required. Or you could also remove this LPCC if you want. So we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I calculate, sorry, just a moment. If I see, amount requested is 1. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4. And this is 5. And this is basically a one variable. LPCC and LP other. It is, we have converted in dummy. Got it? And 7. And this is the same FICO. Got it? So we have 7 variables now. And previously we had how many? 17. We had 17 variable. Oh, here you see we have the 18 variables because the FICO square we have included there. So we have actually 17 were there with dummy. Or actual we had how many variables in the original data set. You could see in the LD. There also there were not 17, there were less than that because we have converted in a, there were I think not 17, less than 17 variables were there. Got it? Is there any doubt now? Anyone? Okay. Nikita ji, are you there? Yes.
Sir, if now we were checking, now if we check the fitted versus
Oh, yes. We forget to check it. I just show you that also, no?
yes, sir.
Sorry, I forget it. You see this graph, right? And I will just run this again. You see the difference. Getting some difference? Here.
Yes, sir. Major difference.
I will show you previous also. This
Yeah.
one. And this is this one. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So we could not, it is not, we could not perform it always straight line. It may be little bit upward somewhere, but we could control it up to some extent.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have controlled too much. Okay.
Sir, if you remove that outliers, it's a mention.
Then the model may more improvement we will get over that
Okay.
model. So there's options we have to work. It's not a, you see that the data analyst we say in this era the sexiest job of this this new century, 21st century. is the data scientist. It's take too much time when we work for a project. It's not a one-day task, but we have completed in 3 or 4 days. You see that daily 1 hour we were doing this, and when we practically do it takes long time. 15 days, 20 days, we see hit and trial something. Okay, I just summarize you. And one more thing I would like to say you that Saprio test I have done for this UC. For the residual UC, I am making one data frame. And this I have shown you Sayed earlier. So this we have taken. No? Saprio test we have taken. This is the normality test. The less than 0.05, then it is normal. Okay. And here I will tell you one more thing. I have just created few plot here. Just see why I have created. I don't know. I done something there. So and I just see what is happening over there. Not this. I just want to run this now. FICO. So normal scatter plot I am taking for the trend, and the trend monthly income less than 5,000, and that less than 5,000. That is that I am taking only, and the temperature aesthetic X FICO, Y is interest rate on the X FICO, geom point, geom title, normal scatter plot. So I will just show you that I have done this because for doing something. As the interest rate decreases, as the FICO range increases, you see here. FICO range increases, the interest rate decreases. So that is the correlation. You could get the correlation also. Density map that I have done here. That's nothing. It's the GG plot for the alpha geom point I have done. And Hexbean I have taken for library Hexbean. It was installed or not. Okay, I just take it. Then I run this. And okay, well, this is a different way I have shown this graph. And I will tell you one more thing what I want to explain you that I have one more data. We are using online popularity.csv. Okay, this data set, and I have given all the data manipulation, every task I have given here. You just have to run it and understand this. All codes are there. Okay, you have to add on something, you could add on it.
This is another exercise.
Another data set, you have to do the linear regression model. One more I have given here, but it is for you. Okay, you have to perform it. I have written all the codes.
We have to do linear regression only on this, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
In the previous you also do what we have done once.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
And then you perform this also. I have written all the codes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
You may change if you require something. You may add on something. Okay. Or you see, and what is this? I explain you. This online
that online news popularity data.
Yes.
We will practice.
So news popularity data set is there. There is a various weekdays and Friday, Monday. I have converted this, the muted this also. And there the Google in that the words, Twitter and the Facebook, Apple, video, new. This word I have taken here as a special vector, a specific vector, and the word in words, and I paste that there. And I did this whole thing. Okay, so I will explain you. First you do this, and if you stuck somewhere, then I will explain why I have written this particular syntax. Okay, I think the most of you may stuck here only, and you will not stuck somewhere else because the other process you already know. Okay, so you try to run it and you see the output of this. Then you could better understand what changes. Correct. So this data set I will send you online, popularity.csv also. And this script, today's script I am going to send you. Okay. So this is a complete script, or you have seen how we could, and one thing you could also do that data, remove the outliers. So of the model. So then the performance may increase little bit. Okay. Yes. Alka, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sirat. And okay, nice. And Sumanji. Mr. Suman, how are you? Okay, Shelly, you have got the thing properly, understand how to do this. Okay.
Once, can you summarize just like in short?
Okay. So I have already written in that PPT also what to do, but again I summarize you for you all. So first we have read the data, and then we have removed the unimportant feature. Okay, as per our domain knowledge. Then we have run some library, and then we have convert the data which could be converted in a numeric form very easily. Okay, so that is we have converted this data in a numeric form, and then we have got some data in a class interval. We have converted them in a mid value form. Okay, and then few things we have removed and convert them in a numeric again. Okay, like the smaller than sign and something like that. And then we have started to create the dummy variables for the categorical one. First we have done for the numeric.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
And then we start for the categorical. First we perform the one sort of variables, like the numeric variable, do it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
convert them in a numeric form. Then you convert the categorical in a numeric form with a dummy variable. Okay.
Okay.
And this process, and remove the columns which are not required. Select minus in this way, and then partition the data. Now you start the feature engineering. That was also we have this also, we could say that the feature engineering part, that we are making the dummy variable, this all correct.
Yeah.
Here also we do perform some feature engineering part, where we outliers and the missing value we start after partition. Don't do it before partition.
Okay, sir.
Okay, treatment of missing values and treatment of outliers, and the scale transformation. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Always do after partition. So after partition we are doing this. We have partitioned here. Okay, always take some set seed value, whatever you want, 1 2 3 4 5 6, whatever. Okay, and then you partition it, because it is randomly it partition the data. Okay,
Yeah.
So then we treatment with the missing value, and then with the we see the skewness, and then we adjust the skewness by the log or scale, or by the square root or the cube root scale, whatever required. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and then we start the model, training the model fitting it is called. Okay, and then we do the VIF. Okay,
Yeah.
as per the VIF we remove one. Here only once we have to remove, then it was in control. So again we have not used it. Okay, then we have just used the summary and see the p value. According to c value, one by one we have dropped. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and then finally we predict it. We have see the prediction, and that is it is for our understanding we have done this thing. Okay, this
Yes.
from here to this is for our understanding about how we have done it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and then what we have done, we have pre-processed our test data. Okay,
Yeah.
and then we have calculated the RMAC for training and test board data. Got it?
Yeah.
And then we have seen that in the plot we could improve the our model or not. So we have hit and trial method we have used for that a one by one variable. Here the FICO I have chosen finally. Okay, so I have directly written the FICO, but I have hit and trial on the all.
So hit and trial will do here itself in FICO. Like FICO part will be taking other variable and squaring it off.
First I have taken the first variable amount requested square.
Yeah.
Then I test the model. If line does not change,
Okay.
yeah, which plot I just see the which plot. I will not see other thing RMAC and other. I don't. I just see that which plot after doing it.
Okay, sir. So plot means up above two lines are there. That
One plot only. Which one? We have the 4 plots, na? 1, 2,
Yeah,
3,
yeah.
4. So we have to which equal to 1.
Okay, sir.
If the line changes straighten, then it's okay. Okay.
Okay.
If so, we see one by one, and finally I have seen that the FICO is doing much better than other.
Okay.
So I have chosen that one.
Yes, sir.
So FICO will be there, na? FICO is also there, and FICO square is also there. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So whenever next time you process the data, when you have got new data, totally new data again, for giving the report, find out the output of this. So then you have to include that also, FICO square part in the processing. This test data processing. Understand?
Yes, sir.
This we have done later on, na?
Yeah.
Here we have written all. So here we have to do that activity again. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Here, sorry, I just not copy it. So I see where it is, where it was that. I have to copy it.
So
And
it's not visible.
okay,
Sir, we are not able to see your screen, sir.
Oh, so sorry. Are you getting? So this also we have to process FICO also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you don't process it, you won't get it, na?
Yeah.
So what we do when we deploy the model, so we also the whatever the we just create a final what we get. I will show you that. I will show you with some other. Okay. This you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now I take some. I think today I could not show it. On Monday I will show you that. And the Shiny application I have developed for a linear regression model. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we are the deployment I have done of a linear regression model. How does it work? So I will show you that. Okay.
So after that, that RMSC for test and train data, and then just fit.
It finished. Okay. Model is complete. And then we take one model format file. I will tell you later on that.
Okay.
Okay. So that file we give to our deployment team. and this processing script, no? This processing script. We provide them with these values also. है ना? This value already we have.
Yeah.
LLMI, LLME. This value, we put here values
Oh,
instead of this. We have these values na, already.
yeah.
You see here, this value we put.
Okay.
Okay, instead of this. Constant, we have to give them.
So that's a model will be fixed.
Yes.
Okay.
So they adjust this thing in their server and the server script, whatever. Got it?
Good, sir. Thank you, sir.
If you don't have missing values, it's good, but you have to still check for outliers. Correct. VIF. Correct. Somanji is asking. Okay. Nice. So let's celebrate Sunday tomorrow. Okay. All of you celebrate Sunday and go for the purchasing for Diwali. And meet Monday. I think the Deepavali is on 14th, na?
Yes.
Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Saturday.
14,
Next
14.
Saturday. Next Saturday. Our course will be finished up to date time, I think so. Okay.
Sir, R4 will start after Diwali or in December?
I think we are planning it because the two batches are coming in between. One is the Python. We have to start one.
Okay, sir.
There is a huge demand for Python at present. So we are going to start one Python and one R1 we are going to start from next week. The timing would be 3 to 5.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So there would be 3 batches continuous for me.
Sir, for Python, how many series of courses are there, sir?
Python is having take more time that R than R because there are so many other libraries we have to study separately, and it take near about 40-45 days total. 4 sessions there also. Workshop 1, workshop 2, workshop 3, workshop 4, P1, P2, P3, P4. Similar are there. I will show you that. I think that the syllabus I have.
And sir, fees will be like more or like what is there in this R?
No, same. No difference like that.
Okay, sir.
Fees would be same because we have subsidized the fees. Previously, it's what 25,000 for the Python and the 18,000 for our complete course. Now, what we have completed in the 4 part. So now we are charging in R. In the first we were charging 1,000. Second we are charging 2,000. Now 3 and 3. So 9,000 we are charging instead of 8,000, 18,000. 50%. Or in Python also we are charging near about 10,000 only this much.
Okay, sir.
So we have given more than 50% discount.
So there is R5 as well, no? R4
No,
and
R4 is itself. There is no R5 now.
oh, okay, sir.
So in R4, what all topics will be covered? Like
R4 we covered the decision tree, random forest, some other algorithms like Naive-Bayes.
K means? Sir,
K-means is a segmentation and clustering.
Yeah.
K-means that is in this session. I think that
Okay.
segmentation K-means clustering.
Yeah.
KK neighbor we use there.
Okay.
You know,
Yes, sir.
KKN we say that, and SVM support vector machine, all the algorithm
Yeah. So that all
except neural network.
Okay.
Except neural network
So
because neural networking requires big data.
Yeah.
We could not perform. We could perform the linear regression with neural networking also,
Mm-hmm.
But we require a big data. Not with this small data, we could not perform the neural networking. There is a requirement of a huge data in the we could say the hundred thousands of rows or the millions of rows, then it could catch the pattern.
Sir, can we get some practice assignments?
I will give it. I will send by tomorrow morning. All thing you will get by 10 tomorrow morning. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay.
all the stuff, everything I will share. Okay, or if you see over there, if something remain, you WhatsApp.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I will tomorrow. I will see it at 9:30.
Sir, another doubt. Sir, you have uploaded the sessions in Google Drive, right? How many days it will be there, sir?
It is now. It will be there 2-3 months at least.
2-3 months.
You could download it from the Google, matlab YouTube also. You could search for how to download the videos from YouTube. You will get the technique to download it. It's very easy to download.
But after 2 or 3 months, it will be vanished.
No, it does not vanish. There is a link and it would be there in the private mode. Or it depends because we are not going to public it, no.
Okay.
So when the videos, because the regular sessions are running, so there are so many these sort of videos over there in our YouTube channel.
Okay.
So sometimes we remove it, but not before 3 or 4 months.
Okay,
It will
sir.
be there. Okay.
Sir, one more doubt. Sir, in R2, like last part, we have like in Frenchian and all, you said na join in other batch. Like last part, what we didn't do. So,
Okay.
sir, if we'll be joining in other batch, sir, then materials will be provided to us.
Yes. You have paid for no last time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. No problem.
Okay, sir. Sir, and few classes in the beginning I missed. Sir, can I get those? Like in that class I attended R2. I have paid in my batch, but I
Okay,
couldn't
okay.
attend. Sir,
Okay. So you could attend in the R2 next batch also, which is running. You could attend it, no?
yeah, I attended, sir. Sir, but like for revision material.
Okay. We will give you. Don't worry. I will
Yes,
add your name there.
sir.
Sir,
Thank you.
another thing.
Yes.
The previous R2 batch I have attended. In that batch, you have you will explain that central limit theorem and standard error.
Yeah, I have not explained that thing.
Yes, you have not.
Yes.
It was
I will explain it. But
okay, sir.
because there's so many things in the mind, so sometimes we don't have that particular example and things. So I have missed some file in the Excel I have created for that.
Okay,
So
sir.
I will search it out and I will explain it. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So we wind up this now.
Yes,
And
sir.
tomorrow I will share the material, all stuffs with you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.